Good morning, little chickens. Big chickens. Swinging chickens. Chicken tree chickens. That's our rooster right there sticking his head up. Bobby. Beautiful morning. I got to looking at our garden. Y'all who knew me before I met and married Rhonda know that I was trying to have garden over there at the last place I lived. And last year, the garden we did a little bit of a garden here, and it actually gave some good vegetables and stuff. But this year we doubled the size, and we got the tomatoes along this row here. Everything's doing really good. This row here is the green beans with a corn or two at the very end just for the heck of it, and a few tomato seeds from our not fully composted compost pile actually have started growing, so I've kind of let them grow too. And so this is a double row of our corn here. Because last year we had it planted the other way, from left to right of your screen, and the wind seems to come from left to right, and it was knocking them down more. Oh, and not only that, I'll show you real quick. The sun, the corn was going that way, right? And the sun was shading some stuff. So this way, we got the tallest stuff here, and the green beans will be kind of tall up to there. The tallest stuff here, and so everything else here will get full sun all day, because the sun goes down in the west over there. So, and the wind goes this way, mostly. So, so we planned a little better this year. And of course, you know, the cucumbers, watermelons, and cantaloupes spread out a lot. So they have this whole area here to spread out. And we have a row of peppers here next to the tomatoes. These are peppers. And we're experimenting with potato towers. That's why I built these with the chicken wire and kind of filling them up as you go. Supposedly potatoes will all grow down there. And when it's ready to harvest, we can just take off the chicken wire and shake out the dirt. And these are kind of my pride and joy. They're my favorites. I love strawberries with French toast and all kinds of things. But I planted these from seed inside over the winter. It's kind of hard to get an actual layout here. There you go, you can see. These ones down on this end were the puniest, going up to bigger, to bigger, to the bigger. I'm trying to keep some of the weeding up to speed. And these are cucumbers. I can't remember if they're cucumbers, watermelon. They're either cucumbers, watermelon, or cantaloupe. All these are. I'm not 100% sure. I started those as seeds inside also in the fall. So we shall see. And this row here is a customer, a friend of mine, Linda Joseph. They come over to visit one time and they brought us a whole bunch of onion bulbs to start out with. So that's what that is. They're not getting very big yet. We sampled one or two. And I got little carrots. I'm not sure what to put in this area right here, because we pretty much have everything that we like. When I'm cooking like spaghetti, hamburger helper type, chili mac type stuff, we love coming out here and picking fresh tomatoes and using in cooking. You see there's a few little peppers starting already. I think I bought these pepper plants at Lowe's this year, because I'm not a, yeah, I bought those 6 of them at Lowe's this year. But these two, I'm not sure. They seem to be the same shape as the pepper leaves, but they're a different color. We had quite a bit of pepper in our compost pile, seeds, you know. And there were seeds sprouting up of all kinds of different stuff that I didn't plant, so it clearly was left over from our not fully composted compost pile. Hey, buddy. Look at the chickens. Bark, bark. Hopefully they'll start giving us eggs here in the next couple months. They say 6 months or so. And it looks like so far we only have like 2 roosters out of 23. Or right now 2 out of 21. But we shall see. This is a Japanese maple that, let's see if I can get a better picture, that a friend gave me from their yard. It was tall. I had to cut it in half because top half was dying, but the bottom half is now doing really good. And our compost pile, I put a rototiller in it and mix it up every once in a while. It's got the chicken manure, grass clippings. So them chickens are egg factories and garden compost manure factories. I need to build the walls on this compost box up a little higher. And I had 2 of my pride and joys, crepe myrtles that I nursed from cuttings 2 years ago at the church. But one of them died. I mean, I had about 16 cuttings to begin with. And out of all them 16, only 2 of them took root. But that one's doing fine out of the 2. But this one, when it got 4 degrees last winter, I believe it pretty much killed this one. The bark is kind of peeled back looking, and nothing's coming on it, so it pretty much killed that. But that's okay. So 1 crepe myrtle out of probably a dozen cuttings that I tried to root cuttings. But hey, look here. Rhonda was mowing, and just the other day with the riding mower, and this bird was bowing up on her, like spreading its wings out and made its tail wings go real wide. So she saw that it was actually a mother bird defending her flock, her eggs, a nest. So we mowed around it. But look, apparently it's a killdeer. And right there, it's acting like it has a broken wing to try to lead me away from her actual nest, which is right here. I'll show you. So we mowed around it. The mother bird's over there trying to distract me away from the nest. That's pretty cool. Killdeers do that. See, now when I leave, she'll come back to her eggs. And we're just going to mow around that and let them hatch. This here is flowering dogwood. We've had a hard time keeping any of these that we bought from stores alive for some reason, but this one's doing good. We got some of these little babies like this from something called Tennessee Tree Day, and they're real cheap. One day, I think it's March something, you got to order, and they've all done pretty good. So this is a pine that we found on the side of the road and dug it up and brought it home. It's doing pretty good. And this is one of Rhonda's favorite trees, Eastern Redbud, because it has the purple flowers in the spring. And here's Rhonda's two pets, Sylvester and oh my goodness, the dog's name has escaped me for some Alzheimer moment, but we buried them here. And these two are Western pines, or West Virginia pines, and they're doing pretty good this year. See the house and the garden and the chicken coop. Two West Virginia pines that are doing pretty good. And this is another local pine that I dug up on the side of the road and brought home and planted. It's doing pretty good this year too. And here's our blackberries. Looks like it's starting to make blackberries. This will be the second year having these. This is also a blackberry. Looks different. It was one of them small packaged root system, and you're supposed to take it apart and put the roots in water. But I didn't do that, so it was a little slow taking off. But I believe now the roots have found the soil themselves, and it should grow pretty big. And this is a blackberry. I mean blueberry, yeah. And this is two plum trees here. This one and this one, because plum's one of my favorite fruits from when I was a kid. Plum trees, no fruits. I had a little bit of bloom. We transplanted them, but hopefully someday I'll be eating some of my favorite fruits, plums. And down here, because it's a low spot, is we planted, and water likes to build up here, down here in this corner. So we planted river birch, 4 of them. And they seem to be doing great too. That's part of that Tennessee Tree Day thing. Definitely lived. And they're real cheap when you get them from that Tennessee Environmental Council sponsors a thing called Tennessee Tree Day. And they're really cheap, like $2 a tree. But they're roots. You know, they come with just roots, no dirt in a pot. And this is a sad story. This is my peach tree. It's wonderful. I got super excited not very long ago because there's a peach. There's another one, but there was about 30 of them on the tree. And they started showing this like sap or something coming off of them. And they got the black deals there. Turns out, we looked it up, it's called gummosis. And it can come from trauma or an insect. and then they all fell off and they're not on the ground anymore, so I guess critters are eating it. So I guess we're going to have a hard time with fruit trees out here, but I'm spraying it now, trying to save the 2 that are left out of 30. And this one and that one are called ginkgos because in the fall they turn really bright yellow, and the leaves last for quite a while, pretty and yellow. This is it's an oak, red oak maybe. We got that 2 years ago from the Tennessee Tree Day. And this one here is a real pretty Japanese maple. Rhonda likes it. But it was tall. We bought it from a store, and it looked like it was dying, and it all died off, except down at the bottom there were some red shoots coming out. So I said, hey, there's life left in it. And then we cut down the died part, just like I did that other Japanese maple. And it's growing up good. So there you go. And here's the horseshoe pits. I'm collecting a little rainwater. Oh, the thing came off. I'll have to put it on. Yeah, I'll do that after a video. I built this trellis for privacy, and we have honeycomb right there. Hoping that Rhonda likes the smell of honeycomb. See, I built these horseshoe pits, and there's our deck. I think I did pretty good. I still have to stain the top part that you walk on. I think I did pretty good as far as mimicking the photo of the one. And there's a birdhouse, and there's our other birdhouse. Fire pit, a little bit of wood. This picnic table, we're gonna cut off the one bench part, make it basically half of a picnic table, and then put it up here on the porch, like mount it to the handrail so we can sit there and eat if we want to. See, Rhonda's chicken coop. Pampered chickens live here. Indeed they do. Indeed they do. We spoil them. We give them all kinds of treats, healthy food. And here's the nesting boxes that I've closed off until they're about ready to start laying. Then I'll open them up, because I didn't want them to like just use them as beds and be pooping in there and stuff. See, they're prepared with all kinds of bedding, straw, some wood, pine shavings. And they say, multiple chickens will use the same, one box. Like you'll have 12 boxes, but they'll all wind up using 1 or 2 of certain boxes they like. I don't know why. It's weird. That's what people say. Well, I don't know how long my camera will let me video, or how much we'll post. I guess I'll just keep recording and try to post it, and if it won't, oh well. See, there's Rhonda's flower garden, because when they move this, ooh, our rooster just crowed. When they put this trailer mobile home here, they did you hear that? They somehow, for some reason, dug out this one square here in the yard, and so that was him crowing again. So I was like, what do I do with this? And I thought, ooh, a wildflower garden for Rhonda, and she loves it. Yeah, he's calling away for the camera now. I don't know if you can hear him. Seems like it's still recording. So up here I have an eastern redbud there, another flowering dogwood, and this wonderful gift that Perry Philpott, guy we bought the property from, a good friend of my friend, and he's a nice guy. And I told him I was looking for a piece of yard art like this, and he wound up giving it to me. And so I made even got a little solar light. It doesn't work very good. And I built these corner posts, one here and one there, because I like when they get weathered and the bark starts falling off, they look real rustic. And these are holly bushes that I started from cuttings from St. Paul's Episcopal Church. I got one on each corner here. I love them. They get big. And I got some ivy here about ready to grow up on these rustic looking posts. And here in this pink ribbons, I have a whole bunch of, I did clones from these shrub bushes I have, the bigger ones. I did clones that took half the winter to get them to root, because they're like $20-something per deal. So I just took cuttings and used Clonex rooting solution and got them to start growing. So now I'm putting them in between the other ones. Hopefully one day have like a hedgerow here. And this is a red maple. That's a couple of years old now. It's pretty. And this is our centerpiece from the front yard. It's a pin oak. We get the bugs like these leaves for some reason, so I have to kind of spray to keep that minimized. And then we have another oak. I can't remember what kind of oak it is. Maybe red oak or something again. But that was a Tennessee tree day from years back. And Rhonda used to call this we call it the crazy tree, because the branches were going all different directions, but I've trimmed it down. And her flower garden. And then I built this retaining wall. Man, that was a lot of wheelbarrow and shoveling. So when the water comes down, there's actually a French drain under there that it drains down. And we have a little step to come up from the front porch into the yard. And there it drains out there, and it all drains around there. And I got Rhonda's, she calls it snowball bush, but what is it? Let's see what, it's I can't think of anything. Looks like it's got something going on it, like spots. I'm going to have to spray it with the fungicide. And that's a honeysuckle that eventually will grow up. And hydrangea, that's Rhonda's snowball bush, she calls it. And this is, since it's a lot of water collects right here, we call it we got an extra river birch from Tennessee Tree Day. And then we got our little, planted this a while back. Hopefully when it gets bigger, to kind of hide the power pole right here. And one last one, and then I'm quitting, is at the NA apartment where we used to live, across from the St. Paul's Church. There was a plant growing out of my flower pots on the front porch, and I said, man, how'd that get here? Looked it up, it was black walnut. And the best thing we could figure, there was a lot of squirrels around there, and some squirrel took a walnut and buried it in the flower pot. And so when it started to grow, I brought it out here, and so now we call this the squirrel tree. And that's about the whole tour. Okay. Have a blessed day.